Hey guys, welcome to today's video. I know it has been a while. I've missed you guys. I had originally intended on doing a video today talking about where I've been. Not that it's any big mystery, but just a general check-in. I also have some makeup that I've recently acquired that are new releases. I have the Lunar Beauty Blush Palette plus the glosses. Not necessarily a new release, but I also got the Tatcha, the Liquid Silk Canvas, plus just some other things I haven't tried yet. I will be filming that video this weekend because it is simply too damn hot to be trying to film it today, so that will be coming next week. Instead, today I'm going to be doing a highlight declutter. Before quarantine, I did 2 declutters. The first one ever on my channel, which was a lipstick declutter, and I followed that up with my blushes and bronzers. Both of those will be linked down below if you're curious, but I asked you guys in that last video what you wanted to see next, and highlighters got the most votes, so that's what we're gonna do today. If you enjoy this video while you're watching, please do go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And if you love declutters, I have 3 more planned for the month of July. If I can get my shit together, those will be coming soon. Let's go ahead and get into it. The sun is not cooperating with me, but I wanted to give you guys an overview of the highlighters that I do have. I just know I have some here that I never reach for or that I don't really like, and I've been meaning to do a declutter for a while. I'll be starting with the palettes that are on the left side. I have my Ofras in the middle, and then I have single highlighters as well as a few cream highlighters. Let's go ahead and get started with the palettes. Starting with these because I'm not decluttering them. These are both in my current 20 in 2020 project pan. I'll be filming an update for that in the next couple of weeks, my mid-year update, but this one is Fenty Beauty. It's one of the Kilowatt highlighters. It's the duo in Fire Crystal and Lightning Dust. I will swatch them. No pans yet. This is the one that I use most often, and that is what they look like. I really want to try the Fenty Beauty Diamond Balm. I think that's what it's called, the All Over Diamond Balm, but I told myself I can't purchase that until I hit pan on one of these. And then I have the Tarte Pro Glow. This is a highlighter and contour palette. There's 4 highlighters in here. This is the one I reach for most often. This one's called Strobe. And then Lit, Stunner, and Fire. Again, no pans yet, but those are the 2 I'm currently working on. I am such a mess. By the end of this, I am going to be covered in glitter and shimmer. Side note, I was going to take my watch off to film this video, but then I was just left with an ugly tan line. I can get so tan on my arms and on my hands, despite the fact that I wear sunscreen, but nowhere else on my body. I'm pale everywhere else. So I have 6 highlighter palettes or palettes that have a highlighter in them. I still have highlighter over here on my knuckle that I didn't clean off. Let's start with the one that I know I won't be decluttering, and that is the Hourglass Ambient Edit Volume 4. I love this palette. It only has this highlighter in it, and I don't reach for it very often, but the blushes in this palette I use all the time. And this is described as a strobe powder. It is called Euphoric Strobe Light. It can be built up, but it is a very subtle highlighter. Next is the Laura Geller Baked Gelato Swirl Illuminator Palette. I tested this out in, I believe, my first ever vlog that I did, and I was super disappointed. I had heard such great things about the Laura Geller formula. At the time, it was sold at Ulta, and I think what happened is I think there's a difference in formulation between the singles that are sold and what's in this palette. I don't have a single to compare it to actually test out. Let me know if you guys have tried these. As you can see, I attempted to use this brush that's in here, but I've also used these with a normal highlighting brush as well as a sponge just to see if I could get a different payoff, and still these are pretty lackluster to me, but I will swatch them. Peach Glow, Gilded Honey, and Ballerina. I'm going to be decluttering this one just because it doesn't have the payoff that I like. They look fine swatched, but with a brush, I really can't get these to build up. So this one is going. These 2 I'm going to keep. This one is from Revolution. This one is called the Cheek Kit and Take a Breather. I tried this out in my last Drugstore Virgin, and I only used it that one time for that video, and I haven't used it again, so I'm saving this one. And then I also have this one from Flower Beauty. This is the Galactic Galactic Glow Holographic palette. I do want to swatch these because it's been a minute since I've used this. Pushed a little too hard there and the packaging is falling apart, but no big deal. I don't know about you guys, but every time I use a highlighter that disappoints me, I always say that I'll use it as a lid topper or just as a shimmer. And then I have so many shimmers already that never actually happens. I can't keep using that as an excuse to keep things that don't work for me. And then that one has a pink silvery kind of shift. I'm going to keep this just so I can experiment with it more. I haven't gotten a lot of use out of this palette. I did a full face of Flower Beauty and remember liking it, but I haven't reached for it enough to really have a full opinion on this one. So I will keep this around. And then this is the Charlotte Tilbury Film Star Bronze and Glow. I got this in my Beautylish Lucky Bag. This is a bronzer and a highlighter. And I don't even remember if I used the highlight. I think I did. And then I topped it with a ColourPop one in that video. So again, I will be keeping this around, even if it's just to use the Sculpt shade. I have a feeling I'll probably forget about this highlighter. I don't remember it blowing me away, but I did like the tone of the bronzer. And then this one I had to have when this came out. This is from Kat Von D or KVD, Vegan Beauty, whatever it's called now. This is the Alchemist Holographic palette. Where I store my palettes, I have this one sitting in the front because I love the packaging, but I have to admit that I never reached for this to use as actual highlighter. The way I will use this more often than not is in my inner corner, but I would like to remember this one too to use on the lids. And from what I remember, these are kind of transformers, so you can also use them on top of lipsticks. The pink opal, ultraviolet amethyst, that's so pretty, green emerald, and then blue sapphire. I don't remember this being chalky at all. I think it's just how much I'm picking up on my fingers. So cool. And at the time this was released, I think the formulation was really unique. I hadn't really seen anything else like these. So of the palettes, the one I will be decluttering is the Laura Geller Baked Gelato Swirl Illuminator palette. That is a mouthful. It's no secret, Ofra makes my favorite highlighters, so these aren't going anywhere, but I do want to swatch them. Pillow Talk, this is my all-time favorite, and I want to say it was maybe my first one. It is blinding, and I feel like this one really just complements my skin tone. Next one is Glazed Donut, and I think this is the one that's a collab with Nikki Tutorials. Star Island, which is the last one I purchased, and so pretty. I got this one through FabFitFun, their add-on section, and it was on sale. So the second I saw it, I added it to my cart. I think I also added a second one to my cart for my next giveaway, which I'll be doing at 1,000 subscribers. That one's a little more gold. And then Rodeo Drive. This is the one I get the least use out of, but still really pretty. If you've tried Ofra highlighters, let me know which one is your favorite. Next set, I'm just kind of grabbing these at random. LA Girl Strobe Light Strobing Powder. I purchased this for my first drugstore version, I think, or maybe the second one, and I really haven't reached for it since, so this will probably get decluttered. This one is in the shade 90 Watt. But let's swatch it, let's see. And I brought a brush over here. I did use my Vera Mona just to clean this off a little bit. Can't remember if this has glitter in it, and maybe that's why I don't reach for it. I'm gonna declutter this one. And then the next one I'm gonna declutter is Wet n Wild. This is a really pretty highlight and it has a super cute imprint on it. You can't tell now. I had this in a project pan, and then shortly after that, I learned that Wet n Wild is no longer considered cruelty free. I will try to remember the video I linked last time talking about why. I can't remember who made that video, but I'll put it down below so you guys can see in case you're curious. Wet n Wild and Physicians Formula are sister companies, so neither one of them are considered cruelty free any longer. But this one is in the shade Blossom Glow. It is their Mega Glow highlighting powder, and it is super pretty. I just know I'll never use it because I don't like to use non-cruelty free items on my channel, and more often than not, that's when I wear the most amount of makeup. Really pretty. It has that pink shift, but I'm gonna get rid of this one. You can kind of sense a theme. I love all the highlighters with a subtle pink shift. This next one is from Too Faced, and I specifically remember buying this on that same trip that I did my first vlog when I bought this palette. This disappointed me, so we went to Sephora the next day and I purchased this one. Blinded by the Light. Like the song, I'm gonna have that stuck in my head now. This one almost feels wet when you swatch it. I don't reach for this very often, and I remember liking it when I did reach for it more. I'm gonna have to put this one with the Flower Beauty just to remind myself to use it more often to see if I actually like this one. I don't think I'm quite ready to part with this one yet just because it has been a while since I used it. And then the last one, this one is so gorgeous. I let this sit for a long time and then one of my friends here on YouTube put this in a video and she said it was one of her favorite highlighters. She did a rundown of all of her favorites, which forced me to use this in my next video. This one is from ColourPop. The artwork is gorgeous. This was their Disney collection, Disney designer collection, and this one is called Horse and Carriage, Cinderella on the front there. It's so pretty and the pan size is huge. This one is truly a blinding highlighter. I remember it looking more gold on, but it's very silver when swatched. Definitely safe. I never take the plastic off of the mirrors. I'm just noticing that. Do you guys use your mirrors and palettes? I feel like I never use them. Sometimes when I'm filming, but for the most part, I don't. I don't think I'm quite ready to get rid of any of my Becca flying saucers, although it's been a minute since I used any of these. First one is Champagne Pop, and I didn't buy this when it first launched with the Jaclyn Hill collab. Bought this for a video at some point last year. I really don't reach for it, but I haven't used it enough to want to declutter it. This one is called Lilac Geode and it has a purple reflect. It's not too often that I want to wear a purple highlighter and that's why I kind of forget about this one, but it is super pretty. And then the last one is Moonstone and I wore this one on my wedding day. This one was the first one I purchased and this is so subtle. It's not going to swatch like that just because it's built up on my finger, but this is a really subtle highlighter. Out of any of those three, I would probably get rid of Moonstone just because I like more of a bang with my highlighters now, but it has sentimental value to me, so I am keeping it. And then this one is pretty new to me. This is from Milk. This is the Flex highlighter in Lit. This is gorgeous. Champagne gold kind of color. So pretty, very creamy. I had this set aside to do that next first impressions video, so I'll be showing this one in a video very soon. And these are the last four that aren't cream formulas or mini sizes. All right, the Amrezy highlighter by Anastasia Beverly Hills. I got the second wave of this one and this doesn't do it for me. I know everyone lost their minds over the first one, but this, I don't know. It doesn't build up right. It doesn't sit right on my skin, I don't feel like. It looks so pretty in the pan. It looks like waves. Let me know if you guys have this, what your thoughts are on it. I don't know if the formulation changed between the first launch and the second launch when it came back. It looks pretty swatched. I think I may declutter this, and that might be a little controversial. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I want this. I don't think I want it anymore. I'm gonna declutter this one. This I bought solely for the packaging. I'm not even a huge like Barbie person, but it was just this mosaic on the front that really caught my eye. This one's a trio, and outside of the video I used this in, I did a full face get ready with me of collabs last year. I think it was in August. I can't even remember which shade I used, and again, I haven't really reached for it since. I'll swatch this one. I hate keeping things around just for the packaging, but sometimes I have to. This one has a ton of glitter in it. Like I can feel it on my fingers when I just picked it up in the swatch. This one would be so pretty on the lid. See how glittery that is? But despite that, I am keeping this for the packaging. I would be so mad when I edit this video and how often I say that. And I know when I do my palette declutter, which I'm saving for last, I'm going to be saying that so many times. Same thing for this one, obviously. Like how cool is that? I also got the Melt Muerte palette when this launched. This slides off and I could really just keep this because the highlighter is not very good. From what I remember, it doesn't have very good reviews on Sephora either. But I used this one in a video and I was so disappointed by it, but the packaging is so neat. Same thing with the gel eyeliner that I purchased from this collection. I keep it in the packaging. I do like that gel eyeliner though, but once you take it out, it is pretty standard. It just has a skull imprinted into it, and it looks like it's gonna have this cool gold pink kind of reflect, but it doesn't translate onto the skin. Let's see if this swatch looks okay. Even swatched, it's pretty disappointing. You really only get that pink. That is so sad. Let's build it up a little more. Yeah. This third time, you really just get the glitter off of it. I can't part with it though. Maybe I'll use this one on my lids. I told myself I wasn't going to keep saying that. I just wanted to show you guys close up how pathetic that is. It's just little specks of glitter. And then the Natasha Denona Super Glow. This one is really pretty and very blinding, but I always forget about this one. This is in the shade 01 Fair, and it is called a duochrome highlighter. I remember being like stunned by this in the video that I first tested this out. Huge pan size. This is, I think, the only Natasha Denona product I've ever purchased. I also got one of the Camel mini palettes. I think it has 5 shadows in it in a Beautylish Lucky bag, but this is the only one I purchased with my own money. I want that gold eyeshadow palette so freaking bad. That's been on my Sephora wish list for so long, but I cannot justify purchasing it, at least without it being a VIB sale. And every single one, I tell myself I can't have it yet. So eventually, maybe I'll get the gold palette. Let me know what products you guys love from Natasha Denona. I gotta remember to use this one more. It is so pretty. Then I have 2 little mini ones from Jouer. I bought this as a set. There was 3 of them originally, and I think it was tan lines I have already decluttered. Rose gold as well as ice. I think I'm going to declutter rose gold because I never reach for it. I've had these for a while. I got this, the set, I think through Birchbox is where I purchased it, and I haven't purchased from them in a couple years, so. Why does that look so yellow? It looks so much more gold in the pan. Maybe it's because I've had it for a while. Definitely decluttering that one. Ice I put into a project pan. I can't remember which one. I think towards the end of last year, and I ended up really loving this. Immediately after that project pan, I put it onto my Sephora wish list. I would have to use up the remainder of this to justify purchasing that. The formula between these two feels completely different. This one's really creamy. Maybe that one's just gone bad. Ice is very silvery toned. It looks more champagne. Maybe this one's old too. I don't know. I'm going to keep this one around for now, and I would like to get the full size eventually. I have 2 of the Super Shock highlighters from ColourPop. I have Flexitarian, which is one of my all-time favorites, next to the Ofra one. This would be in second place, not going anywhere. And then I also have Monster. I usually apply these with a damp sponge. Flexitarian has so much payoff, but I remember Monster being a little bit harder to build up the couple of times that I've used it. It almost looks like Play-Doh or something in there. If you haven't used this formula, it's very different. It feels wet when you swatch it, but then when you apply it, it gets more powdery. So gorgeous. I do keep these on tight though, so it doesn't dry out. And maybe that's what happened with this Monster one, even though I haven't had it as long as Flexitarian. A part of me wants to declutter this one. Anytime I use this, I always reach for something else to put on top of it. I would like to try other ones by ColourPop though. I know that the formula is really good. And then I have some cream highlighters. I really don't have that many. I'm not a huge fan of cream highlighters. I do like cream blushes from time to time. I have 2 little ones from Milk, and I bought these as part of a set when I was first getting into Milk. I have no clue what they're gonna swatch like. They're probably dried out. This is the holographic stick in Supernova. Got a blue kind of shift. And then this one is called Lit, just like the one in the pan that I have. I'm decluttering both of these. I literally never reach for them, and I can't tell you the last time that I did. Next thing I'm going to declutter is this from Urban Decay. This is one of the Naked Skin highlighting fluids. Aura is what it's called. I bought this because it was on sale at Sephora at some point, but I think it was, I don't know, a year and a half, 2 years ago. I never use this. So that's going. And then the last cream highlighter I have, this one is a stick and it's from ColourPop. This one is called Starbright. I purchased this, I'd say towards the end of the year last year, so it's fairly new to me. Very pretty. I haven't reached for this one very much. I keep my cream highlighters in a different section than I keep the powder ones, but now that I'm only down to 1, I will put this with my regular ones, and hopefully I'll remember to reach for this one more often. ColourPop just makes amazing products in general, but especially their highlighters I think is where they really excel. All right, so here's everything I'm decluttering. I will be back in a second to talk to you guys about them. So how'd I do? Let's do a rundown of everything. All in all, I discussed 32 products today, and I didn't say this in the beginning, but I had it in my head. My goal was to get rid of a quarter of my collection, and I am decluttering 9 products. So I made my goal. I'm pretty happy with myself. Let me know in the comments your thoughts on anything I discussed today. Also, let me know your favorite highlighters. Do you agree with me? Is it ColourPop? Is it Ofra? Or maybe a brand I haven't tried yet? Like I said in the beginning, I also want to tell you guys the next declutter I'm going to do probably in the next couple of weeks will be all things eyes. That's going to be my single shadows, my glitters, my cream shadows. I have so many of those Stila glitter and glows that I probably need to declutter. Also my mascaras and my liners. I'm going to do eyeshadow palettes in a separate video because if I tried to combine it, it would be way too long. I hope you guys have a great day. If you enjoyed this video, please do go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And if you would like to see me and more of my remarks and you haven't already, please go ahead and subscribe. I thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you, and I will see you soon.